Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. I trust everyone is going well. And you enjoyed my last video on Australian and New Zealand songstress Jenny Morris. And through her song You I Know, we looked at how good it is to be really known by someone. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, going from there, as I said last time, to a TV series that aired between 1983 and 1989. It starred Rowan Atkinson as Blackadder, Tony Robinson as his sidekick Baldrick. I Have a Cunning Plan. Tim McInerney, who had a few roles in the fourth series, and in the final series he was Captain Darling, and so obviously there's a little bit of humour that could be taken from the name Captain Darling. Hugh Laurie, who was the Prince in Series 3. In Series 4, he was George, just one of these interesting characters. Stephen Fry also was part of this series. He was Colonel Melchett in the fourth episode, and we had another lass, Miranda Richardson, which she was the Queen in the third series. This is a very, very influential TV series, this one. It got Blackadder himself, number 3 of the 100 greatest TV characters of all time, according to Channel 4. And number 2 is best British sitcom, only topped by Only Fools and Horses. So number 2, and number 9 best TV show. So very, very well regarded at this TV series. There were four series, only not that many episodes in each one. We had 1485, where we're right back in the Dark Ages. The character, he was a wistless, useless, pathetic prince character, not very, very good, and I think it was pretty well established after series 1 that Blackadder needed to be different, and he became a little bit more sinister, a bit more cunning, and a bit more in control of things as time went on. The second series, 1558, the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, and he was just one of these courtiers who did what he did. And then the third series, 1800, he was a butler to the hapless Prince George, who always kept losing socks. And there's a classic dictionary episode I remember from that particular series. Then we get to the final series, 1917, and then we're in the trenches of World War One. It covers quite a few interesting things, and that is basically the hierarchy. The commanders had no idea what they were doing, and it's just the whole fact that war was just completely different to what it was in the 1800s, and it was a pretty poignant series in lots and lots of ways. I'm actually recording this video the day after the Anzac Day in Australia. Now, for me, sometimes I need to just have a bit of time to reflect on things and then come up with an idea. And this is well and truly the case here. And so I'm going to be putting this video up just next week. But I wanted to, when I think about war and the remembering of war and just what the horribleness of it really in many ways, I go to the final scene of the fourth series of Blackadder called Goodbye. Now, there are a few clips in the description below. First of all, we've got Baldrick doing a poem about war. We're getting very, very close to the end of the series of the episode at this point, and this is just a bit of an interesting take on the thing. We then got Baldrick also asking, there was one point where the war wasn't a thing, and then it became a thing, and how did we get from one place to another? And Evan Blackadder says, how did the war start? So we got a really interesting take on that as well. We then got the final episode. Now, I was warning you, for a comedy series, this is really, really poignant. Probably one of the most poignant parts of this particular scene is Captain Darling coming in. Now, Captain Darling was very much the aide to General Melchett. And there's a really quite cutting scene earlier where General Melchett says him, hey, you can go. He said, what do you mean? And so he ends up going over the top, as they call it, the big push, with the rest of the characters. So quite a poignant part, and we get into what is it's suddenly hitting what's actually happening here. There's a bit of humour in there as well. Don't forget your stick. And then the final going over the top scene, which when you watch the next clip, which is the making of the final scene, you realise that the amount of rethinking they had to do to get this thing to actually work, and it works really, really well. We just see the blending of these characters into the landscape. I think it's always good, I think, to be in the trenches with these characters, to be in the fear, be with the fear and the sadness and just the ridiculousness of it all. Earlier in the scene, Blackadder tries to get out of going over the top by pleading insanity. Well, that doesn't work. And one of his comments, "Who would have thought you'd notice one more insane man in this world?" Absolutely, what a brilliant take on the world that one is. And so I won't say too much more than that today, to basically say it was great that the UK Postal Service acknowledged the Blackadder series with a series of stamps in 2023. And I will be going on to the artist Jeff Jeremy Camp next time. The 4 clips are in the description below. So and also my last video on Jenny Morris as well. So as you watch this final scene, it is a bit of a thing. I think there's no scene really that I can think of that really captures war as good and as comprehensively as this scene does. It's absolutely brilliant. And so as I finish up today, it's a bit of a tribute to Anzac Day 2024, I suppose, and also a tribute to this iconic TV show. So until next time, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.